I'm actually pulling up to my drive-through or my driveway right now.
How old are
I'm
you?
about to be parking. Let me think. I'm 25. That sounds so sus. I forget my age all the time.
Okay, I gotta put you on mute until you've stopped your car, just because
Okay.
it violates TikTok TOS. So just take your. Do you know how to take yourself off mute?
Okay, wait. I just stopped right now. Sorry.
Fantastic, awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, so what year were you born in? Let's start there.
2000.
Perfect. So Brooke, you're telling me that you support Trump just because he's a Republican? We should not place party over country. We should always want to do what is in the best interests of the country, not just be blind loyalists to any given party.
But my thing is that so in that aspect, because I didn't vote for Trump, um, but if I were to have voted, like I wouldn't have wanted to vote for Kamala either,
Kamala would be how you
because
pronounce her name.
or
So if the
Kamala.
election was held tomorrow, who'd you vote for, Trump or Harris?
Well, I didn't vote.
I know, but hypothetically, wait,
If
why
I
didn't
had
why
to
wait,
vote for
wait why
one,
didn't
I
you
would have
vote?
had to vote for the Republican Party.
Why didn't you vote?
Well, this year I was really busy when the voting came along, and I kind of just was like, I'm in a blue state, California, so I feel like my vote doesn't really matter anyways, because
Okay.
it's a
So
very like democratic
so why would you vote for Trump
state.
over Harris?
Because I just didn't like what Harris was saying and her policies and stuff, and I just feel like morally, like I align more with like the right side, like the conservative like ideas and stuff.
Sure, what Harris policy were you not a fan of?
I feel like it was more like what she was doing for her campaign, because I already like figured I probably wasn't gonna vote this last round, but I felt like she was pushing more like I don't know, like she's just pushing more for I'm trying to remember. There's like one policy. It's been like forever since they got elected and everything, but there's like a policy with the taxes or something I didn't like from her. And then I think in school she was trying to push I don't know, like I just think there's certain things with the Democratic Party that's becoming like too extreme.
Like?
Just like how I feel like liberals and stuff, like, cause they're pushing more like for the undocumented stuff, and I've seen like how you clarified how you're not for like undocumented like entry either. But I just feel like border control is important for safety. Like I'm not for like what they're doing with ICE. Like that's why I'm definitely in the middle between like both. Like there are things in the liberal thing that I do agree with, but like for abortion too, like I'm not for abortion.
Oh, yeah, let's debate about abortion. Sorry, I've just been debating about immigration for 2 hours straight. I'm kind of over it. Do you think that abortion should be legal in rape cases?
I do. That's my thing is I do definitely think people should have a choice like in those aspects and stuff. I just would rather like promote more of like safe sex and like give girls more resources to prevent them from getting an abortion, because I think regardless like rape is obviously a very traumatic thing. So
Okay,
I
so
can
you
only
think it should be
imagine
legal
being raped
in
and
rape
then
cases?
having an abortion
So what about in like
would be.
non-rape cases? Just like your typical abortion. Should that be legal?
I do think that it should be legal. Just personally, like I don't agree with it. Like I don't know. I think it should have always been up to the state, and I feel like wasn't Harris trying to say that it should have been like I don't know, to the president or something?
Protected on the federal level. See, I think that access to abortion should be protected on the federal level because abortion's a human right.
Mhm.
Right? And I don't think that states should have the ability to legislate on human rights. The reason why I think that abortion is a human right is because I think it's a human rights violation to infringe on somebody's bodily autonomy if you don't have good enough reason to do so. Good example of that would be kidnapping or slavery. But another example of infringing upon somebody's bodily autonomy without having good enough reason to do so would be preventing them from accessing abortion when pregnant. There's no good reason to ban access to abortion.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. I think my main thing that probably difference me from that to like Republican is like gun laws. Like I definitely believe that, we should have access to guns, and because I know now they're banning like the Glock in California, and I don't know. I just don't. I
No,
think there's
no.
already so many strict like gun laws in California as it is. As someone that just got a gun, I think that I don't know. I think that having like
Oh,
the guns taken away isn't going to solve the gun problem in America.
okay. Interesting. Effective July 1st, 2026, California is going to ban the retail sale of many striker-fired semi-automatic handguns, including the Glock, because these handguns can be easily modified with illegal conversion devices to switch them to fire automatically. Oh well, okay, all right. Yeah, I'd say I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd have to look into the empirics surrounding the expected outcomes. But what I can say is that there's many other alternatives to a Glock for a handgun. So
Yeah, I just think that I just feel like there's always something new being pushed, like for the whole thing with guns, though. And my
well,
thing is,
because
like,
we have
if
an
they're worried
epidemic of
of,
gun violence in this country. I feel like a lot of people
yeah,
downplay the epidemic we have. Hey, Brandon Max, appreciate you for all the TikToks. The epidemic of gun violence that we have in this country led to an average of one mass shooting a day in 2025. We had like
I feel
1.3
like,
mass shootings a day, and we need to do something about it. We have to.
yeah,
Like, and I'm okay
I
with
just
like this
don't know if
experimental
making,
policy banning some styles of handguns that could be illegally modified into into a automatic handgun, because we need to do something about it. I mean, every town gun research has consistently demonstrated that states with more gun regulation have less gun deaths, and we need less gun deaths. I mean, I think that epidemics call for extreme measures, and if that extreme measure means experimenting some variants of policy, such as banning handguns that could be illegally transformed into firing automatically, then I'm on board with it to see if it works. And hey, if it doesn't work, if it doesn't reduce gun deaths, then yeah, we should repeal the restriction.
yeah, I agree with that. I just feel like there needs to be an emphasis on like mental health being pushed because I feel like they're trying to battle it by like restricting guns,
Who's the
but I feel
party
like
that
the
promotes
main
therapy?
problem,
Who's the party that promotes therapy? Who's the party that promotes men expressing their emotions in a mature, rational manner? Who's the party that promotes the notion that it's okay to be reliant on like some mechanism such as antidepressants as a last resort? Okay,
yeah,
who's the
but they
party that
also
promotes
promote
better
they
mental health? Clearly, that's going to be the left.
at the same time though they also promote like stricter gun laws and like restrictions and stuff.
Yeah, because we want to do both. It's a comprehensive plan aimed to reduce the epidemic of gun violence in this country.
I just feel like you should be able to have access to like,
Any
the
gun you
guns.
fucking want.
Well, not any gun you want, but I feel like a Glock is kind of crazy because it's a handgun.
Well, it's a
Like,
handgun that could be illegally modified to fire automatically. There's other handguns that can't be, so just go get one of the other handguns that can't be. I get wanting to own a
yeah,
handgun. I think that you should have the right to own a handgun. Okay, yeah, that's fair. And there's many other styles of handguns outside of Glocks.
yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I just feel like the right party is just kind of like where I align more because I know I used to be like a Democrat growing up, but
Okay, Brooke. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you for joining. I don't know, man. A lot of the people that I've had on the stream so far today have just been have just been yeah. So you know what I mean? I You know what are you picking up on what I'm putting down here? I don't know. Like, I'm 2 hours into the stream and it's like I'm starting to like go a little bit crazy. Like, not because the people who are joining the live stream are like going crazy on me and being like dense assholes. But it's just like every guest like we've had so far today has been yeah, like just really um unintelligent, if you
Dean,
want me to
stop
be honest.
talking, okay? I
Who
just
the
have one
fuck
thing
are
to tell
you?
I just have one thing to tell you, okay?
You have
There's
one
a
thing to tell
alliance
me.
of me, there's an alliance of Isabella, there's an alliance of Liv, there's an
Oh,
alliance of
you wanna
TPA,
be
and we're all going to deplatform you. You don't deserve to have a platform. You speak, you
obsessive
spew misinformation, and
freaks.
you're going to be taken down very soon.
You know what else is going to be
I'm
taken
just
down?
warning you. I'm letting you know ahead of time, so it's not going to be like a shocker when it actually comes. It's just a matter of time. We're all working to deplatform you. We're speaking the truth, and everything's
How's
gonna
it
come out.
how's
You're
it
gonna
coming
be.
along?
It's going great. We have a group chat. We discuss things every day. Liv,
Yeah, what do
Isabella,
you,
Rebecca, me.
and what do you
What was that?
discuss? Are you any closer to deplatforming me?
What do you think?
No.
No,
No.
no, we are. We're like actually so close,
How
and we're
close?
working. We're spreading the truth. Like doing every. We're just showing everything you're against. We're speaking the truth, and we're letting you know you're about to be deplatformed.
Why
Just
don't
a
you
matter of
like
time.
hold the same energy towards the rapist in the Oval?
Because I'm talking about you. I'm not a big
Right,
fan
it's
of
fucking
you.
like it's unreal. Like you hate me with such vehement force
Because
because
you're
I
a
happen to
grifting
be
loser.
a
Like, you don't mean
grifting
any of the shit
loser.
that you say. Like, how can you
You
go
know.
from saying, oh, I'm so sorry, you have terminal brain cancer. Thank you so much for the $20. Wow. Can you get $200 Rebecca W's, please, please? How can you just switch from that? Like, that's.
What? 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 Wait,
No, you know
wait,
it's
what are you
true.
talking
Like, you.
about?
No,
Wait, what are you
no, no, no.
What are you talking
Dude, you
about,
make
bro?
like $2,000 for
Oh,
every stream. You don't
oh
deserve
my
a penny
god.
of that, and that's why you're not
Oh,
gonna have
you're
a.
just
You're
mad
not
about
gonna
the
have a. No, no,
donos.
no. You're
You're
not
just
gonna be
mad about
that
the donos.
person. So
Speaking
I'm
of
not
the
even gonna worry about
donos,
it. No, I'm not gonna
Shitty,
worry about it.
appreciate you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. I
Here he
appreciate
goes.
you. I
He's
appreciate you so much, Shitty. Thank you. Oh, you just got a restriction for harassment and bullying. Shitty with the $20 says, oh, thank you so much for the love. Who says happy 400? I appreciate you, Shitty. And I'm sorry for calling you Shitty. That just happens to literally be your screen name. But just know that I really appreciate you. Oh, I wanted to have a little bit of a chat with her, but unfortunately she got banned. But one of her friends apparently. So you're working to deplatform me, Isabella?
Okay, I was like actually asking to see who that was.
You don't even know who that was?
I like genuinely want to know who that was because yes, I'm friends with
Oh.
Liv, but TPA is insane. I've never spoken. I don't circle me with those people in general though. Like,
Are you
what?
still a Trump supporter?
So I'm like, it's definitely teetering. Like, it's definitely going down. I can see
I don't
that.
know. You're an interesting case study, Isabella, because you are a Trump supporter.
You just called me a case study?
You are an interesting case study. You are.
How?
Because you've somehow become friends with like people in my very left-leaning Discord.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
Like
really
like
funny.
like they're like further to the left. Like I'm talking like you were like buddies with like socialists. Like how does and you're trying like
I know they're
I
like radical leftists and everything.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Like how does
it's
that?
really
Where does
funny.
like how does that work, Isabella?
Oops, I didn't mean to mute. But what do you mean? How does that work?
Like with your political beliefs about the fact that you're a Trump supporter?
I think you can be friends with people on the other side and still have different views in life.
I mean, it's just like a very rarity to see like a leftist be friends with a Trump supporter.
It's because I'm so likable.
That is such a
Like,
rarity. That's a rarity.
it's a rarity that people want to be my friend because I'm likable.
But see, the thing is, Isabella, what I won't deny, okay, Tina, I appreciate you for the Leon the Kitten, is that you definitely are like more sane than the average Trump supporter that we bring into life. Like that's undeniable. Okay, you're clearly more of like a quote unquote person. All right, but
Yeah, like
why don't you just stop supporting Trump? You could be so much more likable if you just stop supporting Trump. Like what?
so you're
What's
saying
left?
if I stop
I'm
supporting
gonna
Trump,
give it.
that even
I'm gonna
more
give it this.
people would like me?
Yes.
That's I don't know. I just feel like he holds more views and more views that I relate to rather than Conlon.
I'm gonna give it one last chance here, okay, to try to change your mind, Isabella. I told you the last time you
I
came
didn't come
up.
up for a debate or anything, but I wanted to clear my name.
Well,
before
will you
everything.
stay for a debate?
I'm just gonna get yelled at in your like server again, though.
I think that'd be a good thing, Isabella.
What? There's rules in there for a reason. Like, do you have any new things that have come up in today's time that would like? I don't know. I feel like just like with the people I've made friends with, and also just a lot of people in your server have been able to change my mind on certain things and just open my eyes to, yeah, I know he's already been like a bad man, and I said that I didn't support him as a person, but like as a businessman and everything, I more so did. But
the economy,
like a lot of people in your server are able to just like, I don't know, maybe it's because they're nicer.
Not nicer to me. What? It's the economy's in the shitter. So like the argument is that you maybe still support him as president because of the economy. How? He's failing our economy.
How is he feeling? Okay, that's just because it's right now because of like the whole thing going on.
We're literally insolvent. Gas is the highest since Nam. I mean, last year we got the most layoffs and bankruptcies since 2010 than COVID. Worst jobs report since 2003, ignoring recessions. It only continues to get worse. I mean, and we'd expect that from a fool who like runs on the implementation of economic policy, not because of the perceived economic outcomes, but because of his wrath and hate. Like tariffs, they weren't used to like rebuild our manufacturing. Our manufacturing's been crippled, but they were just used as an instrument of soft power to give him more unilateral control over the world.
What was the last part?
Like tariffs, you know, like they haven't been used to like generate better economic outcomes for this nation. They've just been implemented as a tool of soft power to like control other world leaders and what they do, right? It's just like what is Donald Trump doing that could possibly make him a quote unquote good businessman guiding our economy?
Well, I didn't mean like obviously right now stuff is going on. It's not all his fault, but I was saying like in the past he's been a good businessman, so I thought like he could negotiate with other countries and help us. So,
well, I mean, every president before Trump was able to negotiate with Iran to prevent them from having nukes, but apparently he needs to go to war with them over it. Pretty sour businessman, if you ask me.
But I think I really am just like realizing now that this was all while he was running, and we thought it was going to be the same as his last term, but I'm realizing it's not like his last term at all.
Yeah, so then why don't you just rip the Band-Aid off and say that you're not a Trump supporter anymore? There's something holding you back, and I want to know what that something is.
Yeah, I just really, I don't know, I feel like I lean towards, like, I'm very much Republican than, like, the left side.
Why? What makes you Republican?
My values, I don't agree with abortion. I think illegal immigration.
Do you think that abortion should be illegal?
Not so, like, I think in cases of, like, rape and everything, obviously, no. Like, it should not be, like, illegal at all. But
do you think it should be illegal in elective circumstances?
So how I, like, really say my point with this is that, like, I shouldn't know, like, if people are out here getting, like, abortions and stuff like that. Like, what you do with whatever you do with your body, that's none of my business. Like, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to see it or anything like that. I personally disagree with it, though.
Okay, so you think it should be legal, but you personally think it's wrong.
Yeah, I would never get one myself, and
that's not the Republican perspective. That's a Democratic perspective.
I definitely know it's not the thing, but I've realized that I'm not going to be able to just make it all illegal, and making it illegal in all cases isn't like the best circumstance because there's going to be always things that happens.
Yeah, that's the Democratic perspective. So you're not a Republican, you're a Democrat.
Well, I definitely think I'm more on the Republican side.
Okay, but sure. I asked you why you think you're Republican, and you said because you hold to the Democratic pro-choice perspective.
It'll never be like that, though. Like, we don't live in a perfect world, so if we can't make abortions all illegal. Like, it's not going to work out that way. So it's better to accept that people are going to do that no matter what.
Okay. All right, whatever. Still, arguably pro-choice. I mean, if you think at the end of the day abortion should be legal, then you agree with the Dems, not the Republicans.
Well, obviously, I don't think that it should be legal, but I know that it'll never be illegal.
You think it should be illegal. So why do you think it should be illegal?
Mostly because it's like killing a fetus.
And why is that wrong?
Why is that wrong?
Yes.
Why is it wrong to kill a fetus?
Yes.
Because you're literally offing a fetus. Hello,
I don't think it's wrong because there's nothing I could identify that's true of the fetus that I find to be morally valuable. I understand that, it's like a stage of human development. I understand it's a member of our species, but I also understand that it can't be harmed because it doesn't have a well-being, because it can't actuate any level of subjective experiences.
You can literally see
what makes our
it
lives
on the ultrasound, and the woman can feel it kicking. And you think that isn't like just offing a fetus?
So like kicking prior to like 20 through 24 weeks is just spontaneous muscle reaction in response to external stimuli. You also see very similar reactions in dead meat. Okay, but
so after
but
that
neurodoctoring
point,
studies have consistently concluded that low levels of sentience emerge at around 20 through 24 gestational weeks, and they only gain the ability to feel pain at around 27 weeks. So why is abortion wrong before like 20 weeks?
So then you think it's okay after 24 weeks?
I think that it's morally wrong after the fetus has sentience. Elective lethal abortions, I think they're wrong. But you think that they're wrong even before the fetus has sentience. Why?
Because it's still there and you can see a heartbeat.
But why does a heartbeat give it value? Cows, chickens, and pigs have heartbeat, and we eat them for lunch.
Yeah, but also God put them on this earth for us.
Okay, so it's about God?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay, do you think it should be illegal to lie to your child about the existence of Santa Claus?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, I think lying is bad, and when you lie to someone, yes. I think
should be
lying
illegal?
should be illegal. Yes.
Even about the existence of Santa Claus?
Yes.
So like secular, like Christian, like the secular practice of Christmas should be banned.
I'm not saying it's banned, but like
that's what illegal means.
What the holiday is, not Santa.
Okay, but like, even though you think it's wrong to tell children that Santa, like Jesus, we got the Grinch on the live. Like, unironically, holy shit. Like, so you do think it should be banned? Like, if you tell like your child that Santa Claus is real, like you're going to get a fine, maybe a little misdemeanor, might even be going to jail if you're a multiple count offender. Why?
And that goes for all lies.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Just lying in general. I think that lying bad.
So if I tell you have a brain, I should just have to give $500 to the government.
Yes.
Is what you're telling me.
Wait.
You just admitted you don't have a brain.
What?
That's funny. Okay. All right, Isabella, do you understand how
you
clearly
just laughed at your own joke. Whatever.
I laughed at you agreeing to the fact that you don't have a brain.
Because I didn't fully process it, obviously. That's why I said yes so
because
fast.
You don't have a brain.
Because I do have a brain.
I'm sorry. Okay. Listen, it's insane.
You think it is. I don't
even know what to say from you. I've just never had anybody tell me that. Do you think it should be illegal?
That should be illegal to lie?
Like even tell like white lies?
What's an example?
I don't know. Remember that rule? Like if somebody asks you how they look and it's not something that they could fix in 5 minutes or less, you should, tell a little white lie or something like that. I don't know. It's something I heard in high school. I could probably give you a better example. Just think of like any small white lie. Yeah, dude, your mixtape rocks. You say to your friend who just produced his first tape on SoundCloud, but it actually sounds like shit.
Probably. No, I just think lying's wrong and it's bad, and yeah, people should.
But
be
I agree, things are wrong.
Yeah,
I agree that things are wrong, but just because something's wrong doesn't mean that they should be illegal.
Everyone a better person if we actually did enact that act.
But as an example, I think that cheating is wrong, but I don't think cheating on your boyfriend or girlfriend should be a crime.
I think it should be a crime.
Oh my goodness. But then you support the admitted sexual exploiters president. Okay, well, apparently he should be in jail, right?
What he does in his actual whatever, I don't know him personally.
But I think that your argument here would conclude that Trump should be in jail. 30,000 plus lies, that's at least 5 years. Biggest lie told in American history by a president, the denial of 2020, at least another 10 years on top of the first 5. The rape, sexual exploitation, life, right? I think in accordance with your view that every moral wrongdoing, even the incredibly miscellaneously small ones, white lies, okay, should be criminal, then Trump should be in jail because he's guilty of an abundance.
If this act was enacted and I was president, okay, well then yeah, he would be in jail if we did that. and so would a lot of people. So then it wouldn't be this
do you
right
think
now.
that you should go to jail, Isabella?
If this was enacted and everything, then so I actually don't lie, so I wouldn't be in jail. And I don't cheat, so I wouldn't be in jail.
Okay, I don't listen. You got me stun locked. I'm gonna move on to the next guest, Isabella. I've never had anybody tell me that. I've never had anybody tell me that. So the argument that I wanted to give her that I couldn't, okay, because she told me that lying should be illegal, is, well, under the Christian view, a lot of like non-denominational Christians think that all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy. So if they think that abortion should be illegal because it's a sin, then why shouldn't all other sins, like lying, also be illegal? But then she told me that all other sins should be illegal. Like, fuck. Man, I just got me a little caught up there. Like, god damn it, dude. We're going to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. If you want to support me and the stream, you can find my Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message over on the other place. And right there, Dean Withers without the E. We're going to get that next guest court loading up into the box right now. We actually do have a couple of people to thank. You guys have been so kind today for the 400th episode. I'm so very grateful for y'all. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
33.
Okay, Court. I got a couple of people to thank for their donations. If I take a moment to do that, are you going to leave?
No.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to go to do that right now. Karina, thank you for the $10, who says, love your lives. I have a great new argument against annotation I thought I'd share. I'll take a look at it. Thank you, Karina, for the $10. And then Robin, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo as well. I appreciate you so much, Robin. Let's get 500 Robin W's down below in the comment section. Thank you so very much for the love. And Robin, I do read your message. I appreciate you for the criticism. Thank you for the $50. You're cool. Thank you so much. And then Abby ABI, thank you for the $20. Who says, I can't unnotice that the average Trump supporter you talk to can't defend him for more than 15 seconds without sounding like an insecure person talking about an insecure girl talking about her toxic
I know it's crazy that
boyfriend.
I'm 33. All these
Excuse
comments.
you.
I
It's
know.
abusive
Sorry.
behavior.
I really am 33.
Are people getting on you for being 33 in the comment section?
Stupid.
Okay, that is a little dumb. Abby, thank you for the $20. Same thing to Stevani. Thank you so much for the $20 donation as well, who says, happy 400. Happy to have supported you this long when the show was just a thought. Stevani, I remember you. You have been watching since before we even started the show. Just know that I really do appreciate you as always. Please show some love to Stevani down below. And thank you for the $20. And thank you for the kind words about the happy 400. Caleb, thank you so much for the $10, who says, best evidence that you aren't paid by the DNC. That would mean that the DNC spent money effectively. I like that, Caleb. Thank you for the $10. Then Evan, thank you for the $10 as well on Venmo, and Beth with the $4 wishing me a happy 400. Thank you, Beth. You are awesome. On PayPal, thank you so much, Haley, for the $20, who says, love what you do. You helped me start debating with my MAGA dad, and he ran from me upon the last confrontation. Quick question. I know he'll ask me, I'm hoping that you can answer. He always asks me where I could get morals from, if not from God. He claims to be Christian. Well, I mean, there's many there's many groundings for morality outside of God. What I'd recommend is kind of just looking into like a Skill 101 course on like normative ethics and meta ethics. It's a bit too comprehensive for me to describe to you like on live in response to your dono. But if you like read like a really simple or watch a very simple YouTube video about like the introductory knowledge to meta ethics and normative ethics, I think that that'll give you a good response. I appreciate you for the $20, Haley. Same thing to you, Lauren. Thank you for the $1. I appreciate you. And on Super Chat, Kat with a $10 Canadian, who says, ask her what her stance is on the legality of premarital sex. Ooh. That would have been a good one to ask her, Kat. I unfortunately moved on, though. Court, go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump. And by the way, if anybody else wants to support me, wants to support the show, you can find the Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message over on YT, and right there, Dean Withers without the Ian Withers. Go ahead and take it away, Court.
It's actually kind of funny. I'm not here for that. I guess my question to you is, why are you trying to be the next Charlie Kirk?
Well, I mean, I think I'm already better than Charlie Kirk, so why would I try to be something that would bring me down a level?
You definitely are not better than Charlie Kirk.
Sure, I mean, I could tell you one big difference between me and Charlie Kirk that makes me better.
Have you been doing this before Charlie Kirk died or after Charlie Kirk died?
Years before.
Oh, you have. Well, I haven't heard of you, so.
Well, I mean, Charlie Kirk told me I gave him the best argument he's ever heard on abortion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I also made him run away from me. Want to watch?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's just crazy. You're telling me that you've never heard about me, but you love Charlie Kirk, so this is always a fun one. This is a really fun one. Look at this little pathetic dweeb running from me. Let's go to get that pulled up.
It's a very move on your part to keep avoiding Dean.
Then debate me.
People like
Let
you-
me on the mic. Let me on the mic.
Get Dean on the mic. That's the whole reason I came up here.
Thank you.
Move for you to keep avoiding him.
This was Dean's whole plan. I'm going to bring these people here.
We've been told by every single one of Kirk's staffers that he doesn't want to talk to us. I have some disagreeing questions. Do you think I could ask him?
Well, that's something you're going to have to talk to somebody else about.
The reason we weren't let in line is because we don't go to college. But apparently neither does a guy on the mic. We're in MAGA territory now. We need to be very respectful.
Hey, Charlie, Dean's here. Dean. Come on.
You have a permit?
We should talk. I'm trying to talk to Charlie Kirk, but it's not working. Do you think me and Kirk should have a conversation?
100%.
You got to get me up there, man.
You may be purposely ignoring you.
This is proving to be very difficult.
I think that we are in the free marketplace of ideas. Anyone should be able to come up here and challenge and debate you. If you're really for that, as you say you would allow someone to come up here and debate you on that.
It's a very move on your part to keep avoiding.
How crazy is that?
I didn't hear you once talk to Charlie Kirk.
I know, because he wouldn't talk to me.
I wonder
it's because
why.
I fried his.
Stupid.
No, it's because I fried his ass. Wait, actually, you revere Charlie Kirk like a god because you loved him and he's dead. Charlie Kirk called me intelligent. You want to listen to Charlie Kirk's thoughts on Dean Withers?
He didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, because he was scared. He was terrified.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, you want to listen?
I am honestly shocked that you think that he was terrified of you.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was. I destroyed him in our debate on Jubilee. He spoke surprisingly kindly about me after that. I mean, he never wanted to talk to me again. It'd fuck up his money.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Listen, here's Charlie Kirk on a podcast after I debated him on Jubilee.
Okay, let's hear it.
Very smart kid. I actually think Dean is more likely to one day become more conservative because he's intellectually honest.
Would you ever be open to sitting down with him again and speaking to him?
Parker, I mean, that's maybe. Yeah, I mean, he'd have to clean up his act. Dean, for sure. And I actually have a heart for Dean in a way, not in a romantic way, obviously, but like,
Yes.
I have a heart for that kid. Like, I actually think
So funny that you said that.
Well, I mean, because society is so sick,
funny.
right? But no, I think he's on a journey of intellectual discovery, and I feel bad for him that he's getting rolled all over the internet because of something he said when he was 16.
Checkmate. That means you gotta love me. You have to love me. Checkmate. Absolute checkmate. You gotta love me.
Gross.
You can't call me dumb. You just disrespected the Almighty.
No.
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. You How dare you?
I don't have to like you.
How dare you say that I'm unintelligent? How dare you say I'm stupid?
I think
The
Charlie
Kirk
is
said
way
otherwise.
more intelligent than you will ever be.
Well, I mean, I drilled him in a debate about abortion. He lost badly.
I'm sure. You keep going on and on about that. Let's move on.
Okay, let's move on. Where to next? How about this? If I'm so stupid, tell me why I'm wrong. Trump sucks. He's terrible for this nation. He's terrible for the world. His character's atrocious. Okay, and there's no redeeming qualities to his administration whatsoever.
But why did you automatically assume that I was a Trump supporter?
Well, because the live says, how do you still support Trump? The rules say to only join if you're an American adult above the age of 18 that is pro-Trump. And the first question when you joined was, do you support Trump as president? Good question, good answer.
I guess.
So why are you a Trump supporter? How do you respond to the fact that maybe he shouldn't be president because his character is atrocious? A court held him liable for rape. He admitted to sexual exploitation by barging into the dressing rooms of naked beauty pageant contestants at the beauty pageant that he owns. He sent a letter to Epstein depicting the naked body of a girl, talking about their deep, dark, beautiful secrets, quote unquote. Epstein named him as a P3DO in the letter that he sent to Larry Nassar days before he died, saying that he shares their affiliation for young sexually attractive girls. Okay, he's named in the files over 1 million times. He was credibly accused by a minor that was trafficked by Epstein in the files that he later attempted to hide illegally. His policy sucks. Big beautiful bill took healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans, made it more expensive for 45 million working-class Americans by cutting an ACA subsidy, cut food stamp benefits by 156 billion, cut the purchasing power for half of this nation. I don't know. How could he say he's so great? Tell us. He's been attacking and assaulting our democratic institutions, including separations of, the branches of our government and the Constitution as a whole. He's launched an attack on the First Amendment by saying that it should be illegal to criticize him in the media. The Second Amendment by saying that no trans person should be able to own a gun. The Fourth and 14th Amendment by deporting people with no due process and arguing that the children born to undocumented immigrants don't have birthright citizenship. The 10th Amendment by illegally deploying the National Guard in Illinois. The 22nd Amendment by saying that he wants to run for a third term. The first and the second article by saying that he could pass policy without Congress and we need to federalize the elections. How could you support him?
Where did you get all this information?
Well, I got this from Executive Order number 14160 that violated the 14th Amendment, the ruling of a federal judge that he violated the 4th Amendment when he deported undocumented immigrants with no due process, from his own press conferences where he said that we should criminalize criticizing him in the media and having his FCC chair Brendan Carr go after people like Jimmy Kimmel, for instance. Other information of his attacks on the 22nd Amendment once again just comes from him, and then the 10th Amendment that they violated the 10th Amendment by deploying the National Guard in Illinois is coming from an opinion ruling from the Supreme Court, which is 6-3 conservative leaning.
Interesting.
So why do you still support him? She left. She said, interesting. That's funny. That's funny as hell. Hey, Momo. Momo's been such a good kitty today. You've been such a good kitty today, Momo. She has just been hanging out with me and my girlfriend all day long. She's just been such a good kitty. She's been cuddling with us since we woke up. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I do.
How old are you?
38.
Okay. Why is your profile picture such... Why is that your profile picture? It's just a really menacing bald eagle?
I think it resonates with our country. Yeah, menacing at this current point in time.
True. Why do you support Trump?
Well, I'll get into that. Can you just assure me that you're not going to go into full Eminem rap god after I respond? Because if you do, it might take me a little bit of time to be able to respond articulately.
Yeah, I won't turn into rap god. Don't worry.
All right, cool. Because it was impressive. Your articulative ability is very, very incredible. I just want to say this, though, in regards to...
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I intentionally overwhelmed her with all that information because I expected her to not give me a response. But, yeah. It seems like you're here for it.
Of course, I'm called up next after that. I'm still processing it, so just bear with me here. But no, in regards to Charlie Kirk, though, you guys had touched base on that a little bit, though. Is there not a little bit of empathy in regards to him being unalived? Irregardless of positional stances, political opinions, I felt like there was a little bit of a lack of empathy there when you were talking about him.
So what you call a lack of empathy is just me being honest about the man who he was. And I feel like a part of the human nature is this yearning to want to glorify bad people in death. This is why you go to anybody's funeral, the eulogy is always says they're one of the best people that's ever lived. When in all reality, death doesn't make a bad man good. All right? And I'll be honest about the fact that Charlie Kirk was a bad man. Okay? And I'll continue to be honest about that fact. And I'll continue to be honest about my thoughts on Charlie Kirk. But clearly, I'm very infamously known for thinking that Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to get murdered in front of a crowd of 400. So.
All right. I just wanted to get that out there. I try not to make light of anybody, whether regardless of party, when they're unalive, no matter who they are. But anyways, moving forward, in regards to why I support Donald Trump, all of his policies, with the stance on tariffs. So, from the perspective of this, that we do not know, whether it be you, me, or anybody, of the future in which all the moves that are being made in regards to the tariffs and why they're enacted. The policy decisions, primarily in regards to such as Venezuela, what's taking place in Iran, the focal point is truly the underlier is China. and the AI revolution race, whether you know about AIG or not.
5D chess. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Oh yeah. No, it's okay. You can laugh. It's fine. You know, as a father though, under the Biden era, you know, things just got turned upside down. I mean, they got a little bit too crazy, to be totally honest with you. I mean, in all regards. You know, to each their own. I believe in to each their own. I firmly respect the individual rights of individuals to do
How did things get
like.
too crazy under the Dems?
Man, is that a serious question?
Yes.
I mean, we had rainbow flags flying higher than the American flag, Transgender Day coincidentally falling on Easter. We had men and women's bathrooms. We had the mutilation of children underage. You know, I mean, one of Trump's first executive orders was pardoning Christians, creating faith-based initiatives at the White House. I mean, these are just some of the fundamental aspects.
I'll respond to all those things. So you said that we saw.
Hold on. I know you're gonna go into rap god on me, so just give me a second, please.
I better start writing them down then. Let me make sure that I got you right. You said gay flags flying higher than American flags. You said transgenders everywhere.
Any flag higher than the American flag. Period. Doesn't matter what it is.
And then you said transgender for everybody?
No, transgender coinciding on Easter.
Yeah. Okay, then what was the third point?
Mutilation of children.
Okay, what was the fourth?
Persecution of Christians, the fact that they even had to pardon anybody and create faith-based.
Yeah, okay, persecution of Christians. What's next?
You're typing away.
I know, because I'm writing down the things that you're saying, so I want to... What's next?
I'm going slow right now, so hold on. I'll get up there with you. Just the basic emphasis of just Christian values, irregardless of his personal etiquette and behavior. You know, I mean, he doesn't enact policies that are more Christian-based than Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, he did. You know what? We're going to get into the Epstein. We're going to get into Epstein, too, because I'll tell you what. He is the one that investigated Epstein. It was his Department of Justice. His Department of Justice investigated him initially, and it's his Department of Justice released anything that we have to this day. Biden sat on it entirely while he's basically eating ice cream. I mean, you know, we'll get into that, too.
Okay, is that all? Do you want me to respond now?
No, you can respond, but that's not all. But go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So to your first point, you're saying that gay flags are flying higher than the American flag.
Any flag, period. Doesn't matter what flag. Not just the transgender flag, but any flag, period.
Okay, then I just don't know like what your point is rooted in. Are you essentially just saying that people on the left didn't fly the American flag?
The fact that it was a rainbow flag. The fact that it had to be a rainbow flag flying higher. I don't know. Could you fly a different flag?
When you say like flying higher, I'm just not sure what you mean.
Higher than the American flag?
Like, did you just see like every Democrat ever like flew a gay flag above the American flag in front of their house? Like, why? I'm confused.
On our governmental buildings, Capitol buildings, and so forth. Come on, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah. Listen, this is like I don't know, what would we call it? A conspiracy theory? Like, listen, I'm sure that there were some governmental buildings that flew the LGBTQ plus flag that also flew the American flag. And I'm sure on some of these buildings, the LGBTQ plus flag was above the American flag. On others, it wasn't. And I'm pretty sure that was just because like people put the flags on the buildings, didn't really give it much of a thought, and then went on with their days. Now, I think that it's good to fly the LGBTQ plus flag. I think that, of course, members of said community are marginalized in this country, especially when we have people screaming and shouting from offices higher up saying that it's wrong to be gay, or even if we just look back less than 20 years ago when gay marriage was illegal and conversion therapy was promoted. Like, clearly, yeah, it's going to be a good thing to fight for the inclusivity of gay people in America. Quite frankly, I'd argue that there's nothing more American than it, okay? American values are supposed to represent equality and freedom and liberty for all, right?
I agree, yeah, 100%.
Okay, and I think that we've seen an attack on members of the LGBTQ plus community that has limited their freedom and liberty. So tell me, how is it anti-American or opposed to true American values to fight for their inclusivity through teaching, through educating, through protesting, or through flying a flag for visibility?
Are we ramming heterosexual behavior down everybody's throats?
Yes.
Because no, we're not.
Yes, we are. Of course. Yeah. When you like, dude, if you listen to like 99% of Christian pastors across this nation, what do they tell you? That if you're gay, you're like literally devil, like Satan incarnate, and there's something just dysfunctional with you, and you got to be straight. I mean, and that's like a very literal sense of ramming it down people's throats. But we also had institutional senses of ramming it down people's throats by like giving people who were joining the military polygraphs, and if it detected a lie when they were asked if they've ever slept with a man, they were kicked out, or forcing people to go through and undergo conversion therapy. We're absolutely ramming being straight down people's throats. Like, for instance, you think that it's wrong to be gay?
No.
Okay, so you don't think that it's wrong to be gay at all?
No, to each their own, man.
Yeah, did you know that like a vast majority of the conservative movement disagrees with you?
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that a vast majority of conservatives think that being gay is morally wrong?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh, yeah, so true.
I think that we all firmly believe to each their own. We just don't want it rammed in our faces, nor do we want our children indoctrinated to such behavior. We want them to make their own choices. We want our children to make their own choices. So do you think it's a choice to be gay? We want our children to be able to make those choices.
So you think that being gay is a choice?
Absolutely.
Okay. See, that's another issue because it's not a choice.
Well, I think it wouldn't become a choice if you are forcing it upon them. I mean,
I don't think that there's anything that you could force upon a child to make them be gay in the same way there's nothing you could force upon a child to make
when you're having parades and you're bringing it into the
blue
schools
instead of brown, for instance.
When you're bringing it in front of them in elementary school and you're parading it in front of them and you're having protests about it and it's in their face consistently, and then you're making it.
The issue with that argument is that we know that being gay is underpinned by biological reality that's developed in utero. Like, for instance, gay men have larger interior commissures in their human brains than straight men. That's going to be the nerve lining between the hemispheres on your brain. They also have varying traits of different neurohormones, such as FSH, different dendritic densities in the AINEH3 subsection of the hypothalamus. And we even see massive correlations along the genetic code in the XQ23 chromosome. Like, all of these characteristics and attributes aren't things that could be changed by throwing a child in a pride parade. No, these are things that you're born with.
Okay, so does all of the evidence and information that you just described give reason for parading it in front of the children?
Well, what it gives reason to believe is that you are incorrect when you argued that being gay is a choice.
Well, it doesn't become a choice when you're throwing it in front of them and you're telling them, hey, look, go down this route, as opposed to letting them select a route on their own.
But it's not a route that you could select in the same way the color of your eyes is not a route you could select.
Why isn't it? I mean, we have freedom of choice.
Because it's driven. You have free will. Does the fact that you have free will give you the ability to change the color of your eyes?
If you're raised in a certain environment and you're only accustomed to certain things, that's what you're most likely to fucking go down, to be quite honest with you.
Can the environment in which you're raised in change your race?
The environment in which you're raised in can make you subjected to the environment in which you're raised in, absolutely. It won't change your race, but it could change your future, and it could change the foresight.
So you're telling me that like the environment that you're raised in, cannot like change like the biological underpinnings, such as the color of your eyes or the phenotypical characteristics in which we have assumed to describe, the social construct of race. Similarly, it can't change your sexual orientation.
I don't know how we got stuck on this topic.
Because I'm demonstrating to you with science that being gay is not a choice, and you won't give it up.
But you're removing the choice in certain aspects when you're pushing it down people's throats.
No, I'm saying there was never a choice to begin with. You can't choose to be gay. You can't choose to be straight.
You can't choose to be a gangster?
Being gangster is not a sexual orientation.
I mean, for real. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, do you think that the individuals that are subjected to drug trafficking that are raised in certain areas of the country, it doesn't matter, it could be a suburb or an urban area, if you don't think that they're raised in a certain area, do you not think that they have a higher propensity to be a drug dealer if they're raised in a drug distribution
These two things are not equivalent, because being a drug dealer is a choice in which you'd make and conducive with your environment and will.
Well, when you lead them down that path,
it's not a choice that you'd make and that is conducive with your environment and will. Can you please show me the scientific studies that demonstrate that drug dealers literally have a different neuroanatomical makeup than non-drug dealers?
They're surrounding an environment in which they've been subjected to. That prohibited them from having a different avenue in which they could have partaken.
I'm trying to talk to this guy, but he's impossible. Listen, buddy, what I'm saying is I understand what you're saying. Okay, you're giving an example about how somebody's upbringing and environment could increase the likelihood that they become a drug dealer. Okay, I agree with you. I do. But this is a false equivalence. The reason why we can't compare, okay, being a drug dealer to being gay is because we know that being gay is not caused by your environment and upbringing due to the science that exists to demonstrate that it is rather caused by biological underpinnings in which are developed in utero. I gave you that science. I talked about the differences in the neuroanatomical structure of brains between gay men and straight men, the differences in the hypothalamus, the AINH3 subsection, the FSH neurohormone, okay, the associations on the XQ23 chromosome. This is science.
Okay, so then barring the fact that I'm not disagreeing with the science, but then say take somebody that doesn't conform to the science reports, and then you're subjecting them to the entirety of what we're talking about here. Is it not possible that somebody who doesn't have all of these underlying undertones possibly goes down that fork in the road because they've been subjected to it? It's been paraded in their face. It's been rammed down their throat over the course of time.
No, it's just not possible. No.
Really?
Yeah, really. Or else we wouldn't expect to see so many gay kids coming out of alt-right households. The best evidence that it's not possible is conversion therapy failing. And I'm not just talking about conversion therapy failing, okay, for the people that underwent it, but more so the quote-unquote ex-gay men that started them. Okay, if changing your sexual orientation was possible, then the quote-unquote self-described ex-gay men that started Exodus International and ran it for 45 years, so the largest conversion therapy in the history of the United States of America, wouldn't have inevitably closed down Exodus International and came out and admitted that he was still fucking gay. All right, there's nothing you could do, dude.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, honestly, just answer this honestly, do you think you'd be where you are today if you were raised in the hood?
What does the hood mean?
Let's just say, for all intents and purposes, high drug trafficking, high prostitution zones. If you were raised in the ghetto, right?
I don't know what you're asking me.
I'm just saying, if you were so the question is, if you were subjected...
I'm just really confused. I mean, I think that using words like the hood and ghetto is really dated. And honestly, quite frankly, a lot of white people like to use those words to describe black people in a very racist way. So I stay away from them. But but in my upbringing, I was homeless. But I don't understand how that's relevant to this debate in the slightest.
My question is, if you were raised in an environment that was entirely predicated or primarily predicated upon drug distribution.
Listen, I'll just say, if I was raised in an environment different than the one I was, it's possible that I wouldn't be doing this today. Would I still have blue eyes though? Yeah, I would still have blue eyes. Would I still be white? Yeah, I would still be white. Would I still be male? Yeah, I would still be male. Would I still be straight? Yeah, I would still be straight. Because guess what? In the same way, my race, my sex, and the color of my eyes are underpinned by a biological reality, i.e. phenotypical characteristics. I.e. chromosomes, so on and so forth. Okay, so is my sexual orientation.
All right, look. The bottom line is this. But the reason why I support Trump is because he's a no-nonsense individual. As much as people don't understand it, the reason why the majority of us support him is because he has the perfect dose of narcissism with a slight psychopathy at the right time. And that's reality.
So you're completely moving away from the debate that you just fucking got lost.
We got stuck in this. I don't want to be stuck in that.
Now listen, you said that he's obsessed with the betterment of America. Then why is this country failing?
Oh yeah.
Why is this country and its institutions failing its people? Okay, unemployment 5-year high. And in the last year and a half, our country's gone to shit. Every single macroeconomic data point has gotten worse. From unemployment to GDP growth to layoffs to manufacturing bankruptcies, our economy is significantly worse today under Trump than it was at the end of the Biden-Harris administration. Today, he possesses the lowest approval rating of any country in history at this point in this term. Maybe it has something to do with promising to start no new wars and starting a war in Iran that's achieved absolutely nothing than threatening to genocide their 90 million constituents. Or claiming to be God, attacking the Pope, claiming to be a Christian, then praising Allah on Easter. Something else that you said in there is that you think that his policy is pro-Christian. Explain to me how it's explain to me how it's pro-Christian to take from the poor, leave them to starve and die just to give to the rich. The big beautiful bill defunded Medicaid by upwards of $1 trillion and food stamps by $156 billion. What does the Bible say? Well, in Matthew it says, the way that you treat those with lesser than you is the way that you're treating the Lord your God. Donald Trump says, if you have lesser than me, we're going to go ahead and ensure that you don't have health care, even though 51,000 low-income Americans already die every year because of that. We're going to ensure that your food stamps are less by defunding USDA by $156 billion. We're going to ensure that you have to illegally pay $92 billion in tariffs that were ruled as unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. And guess what? When we're forced to give refunds, we're not going to give it back to you, the average everyday American. We're going to put it back into the pockets of the rich and elite, i.e. the refunds to the corporations compared to the people that paid them. Right? How is any of this pro-Christian? I mean, or other actions like the whole, I'm going to run on trying to ban all new Muslim entry into this country. Would Jesus dine with a Muslim? Yeah, dude, he fucking invited a Pharisee to be one of his disciples.
Oh God, listen, you said so much there. Listen, he's trying to incentivize people. There's so many people here that are on food stamps, that are collecting assistance, that don't need to be, that are manipulating the system, whether they be illegal immigrants or elsewise. American citizens that can get off their ass, that can do something with their lives and be a productive part of society. That is the emphasis behind it. Okay? I mean, we have a lot of...
So that emphasis has failed. Because guess what? It has been proven
failed.
time
It's been less than a year and a half.
Well, we know from much more than just the last year and a half that social safety nets increase economic mobility, help more people get off their asses, and ensure that our our labor force is better equipped to make more money. All right. And in the last year and a half,
though. You want to have a workforce that is empowered to do things as opposed to
socialism.
Simply sitting by and subsiding off of government funds to do nothing and just be acceptance of that. I mean, that's the reality here.
You're wrong.
I mean,
socialism has nothing to do with wealth distribution. Socialism is a mode of production, meaning that the workers of an organization would own the organization. Democracy in the workplace. So you're wrong.
I firmly believe that you're going to see what happens in the capitalistic society. That is the best option that has been created in humankind. That is the best opportunity we have.
I mean, I don't think that you can know that when you don't even know what the other options are, right? Because you just tried to define socialism as something in which it wasn't. I was born and raised
as an American. Over 90,000 GDP per capita. I know how much money I have, even with $5
Is our capitalist society getting better or worse with Trump as president?
It's been less than a year and a half. You have to give them time for policies to turn into fruition.
Oh, well, I mean, then how do you explain the fact that before Trump was elected, things were going up, after Trump was elected, things are going down? How do you explain that?
Because those are Trump policies that were in effect.
Oh, okay, so the Trump policies made the economy worse?
No, under Biden, how would you say the economy was with the rebound? Pretty good,
yeah,
right?
the rebound was great, yeah.
Yeah, and those are Trump policies, including the tariffs that Biden adhered to. I mean, Biden furthered it with the Chip Act, but he kept Trump's.
Oh wait, so the Chips and Science Act was Trump's bill?
Oh, that was Biden's, but he
right. So what Trump policy helped in the rebound from COVID? Tell me.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
I can't name it, so then you're going to use your Lord's name in vain, good Christian.
All right, listen, man.
Name the policy. You said the only reason why the economy was so great after COVID and it rebounded phenomenally it was because of Trump's policy. So name the policy.
You are much like Isaiah in so many regards, right? So like you say a
lot
of
words. Much like another really
smart
smart man. Nice. Thank you.
He's very intelligent. He is. He's only 27. He's very intelligent. I even told him he needs to run, and perhaps you do too. But you need to slow it down a little bit because the majority of Americans on your side and my side aren't going to be able to compute this shit. You got to give us a chance to respond.
I'll slow it down. You said the reason why the economy rebounded well under the Biden-Harris administration after the pandemic was because of Trump's policy. So here's the question that I'm asking. Can you please name the Trump-era policy that helped the economy rebound well after the Biden-Harris administration?
It was a naturalized rebound because COVID had ended. So then people were returning to work. So then a lot of the rebounding that you saw were people that were naturally returning to work.
Oh yeah, granted, for like the first 15% of like the jobs added under the Biden-Harris administration. Even when we account for COVID bounce back jobs, they still averaged over 200,000 new jobs a month.
Just hold on. Trump passed the CARES Act. That was necessary during the height of COVID. Then Biden passed another $2 trillion after the economy reopened, which in my opinion was highly unnecessary because as I sat there with my wife and 4 children receiving over $10,000 for that year while the economy was wide open, we both sat back and questioned, why are we getting this money? Then
because it
inflation
prevented a
soared.
recession.
Okay, well, guess what? Sometimes preventing a recession can result in you can have a ton of inflation as a result.
We actually rebounded from inflation in America faster than any other country in the G7. The hell are you?
Of course we did, because we're the largest GDP. And we're the largest consumers on the planet.
Yeah, what did that
It's
just mean?
inevitable.
More people spending more money, meaning more upward pressure on prices because the
And that's
demand is
the
higher?
irony behind Trump. So that's the irony behind Trump. That's the irony behind Trump.
But you
though.
still, you still haven't explained why the economy is doing so poor now. You've just said we got to wait for his policy to go into effect. I think it has, brother. I think it has. I think that we saw the immediate impact of his tariffs, which was a destabilized market that disincentivized investment, and which then led to a 5-quarter decrease in investment into manufacturing after a 3.5-year boom under Biden. Okay, we saw that GDP growth was down by 1% because less people wanted to invest in America. Q1 of 2025, when he started implementing his tariffs, we saw negative GDP growth, the only developed country in the world to see negative GDP growth. And we also saw the worst jobs report. Maybe that had something to do with the tariffs, disincentivizing investment, causing manufacturers to go bankrupt, or maybe that had something to do with the big beautiful bill in which is now kicking people out of work because they can't because they're dealing with chronic illnesses that they can't get paid for by the government because Donald Trump kicked 10 million low-income Americans off Medicaid. My point is you can't just say that the economy's been in the shitter, but it's not Trump's fault because he's only been president for a year and a half. Learn some fucking humility and grow a goddamn brain.
I'm not. Hey, listen. Trump has directly impacted the price at the pump due to the Strait of Hormuz being shut down, the war in Iran. Absolutely. When everybody said that his tariffs that he was implementing, even when they reached the heights of 200% very briefly with China, it was going to cause a recession. It was going to collapse the economy. They were wrong, okay? And so right now, of course, the Strait of Hormuz is shut. We have high gas prices intermittently here. Who knows how long that'll go? But do you even know what the real underlying reason is behind everything we're doing, all the policies? I don't think you do.
Oh, yeah, what's the real
Because it's
underlying
all
reason?
impulsivity. There's no foresight. Nobody knows where we're headed. They only see what's happening today. I got to float my
so
gas.
Trump is an impulsive narcissist with no foresight.
No. People that respond in the way in which you do when it's like, okay, gas prices are $4.99.
Okay. So it has nothing to do with Trump.
We're actually going somewhere. No, it has everything to do with
going
Trump. We're
somewhere
actually heading
worse. I mean, everything's getting worse, buddy.
Worse.
Yeah,
really?
Everything. Name a single macroeconomic variable that's better off today than it was at the end of the Biden-Harris admin.
What was the biggest economic factor that happened in the last 100 years? Tell me. Two words.
Biggest economic factor. I don't. That's a vague
Industrial Revolution.
question.
Industrial Revolution. Yes or no?
Okay. Yeah, the Industrial Revolution was
moving
a pretty
forward.
big
What
economic
is
quote,
moving
quote,
forward?
quote,
What is the
factor.
next biggest thing that is about to happen to the globe? What is the next biggest thing? AI. Right? So what does China need? That is why we have bottlenecked them and sequestered them from being able to obtain their semiconductors, their microchips. That is why everything we have done from Venezuela to Iran, through the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, every
not what Trump
fucking
said.
thing with the tariff. Huh?
That's not what Trump said.
It's a diversion tact. Everybody hinges on his words. All the fucking late midnight posts. Oh, man.
So Trump lied about why he started the war in Iran?
But you can see it if you look at every single thing that is happening. It is a race.
No, you're just trying to turn a madman's mad action into 5D chess through a very weak quasi justification.
It's all there. It's there for you to see. You can look it up. I know you can.
So I have a question. So when Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, then called for her to be thrown in jail, and then admitted to sexual exploitation by barging into the dressing rooms of naked beauty pageant contestants, was that like also the whole 5D chess thing? Like we're gonna stop China?
You didn't rape Eugene Carroll. Come on, man. You think you raped her in a dressing room? You really believe that?
That's what a court ruled, buddy.
Okay. You think that in a dressing room, you really believe that happened?
Yes.
You
Why
believe
should
that?
I? Why should
You're an intelligent. You're a highly intellectual individual. Come on, man.
Oh, don't try to sit here and say that because I'm a highly intelligent individual, I shouldn't believe the woman who's able to prove that he raped her.
He went into the Macy's changing room.
Wasn't even Macy's. It was Borgman Goodman's, but whatever.
Same thing. It's all the same.
Not the same thing, but go ahead.
Come on.
I'm sorry. I just got to correct you because clearly you don't know your facts.
Why did you throw that out of nowhere after I started talking about what I was talking about? No. You switched the subject though when I was saying what I was saying. Why?
Did you want to continue to talk about how your absurd claim that China is leading an AI revolution that Donald Trump is stopping by taking over Venezuela and going to war in Iran, but then he lies about it by engaging in 5D chess? Yeah, that's a nonsensical conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy. Why do we want Greenland? What's in Greenland? Minerals.
Well, we never got Greenland.
But why did we want it?
I don't know, because Donald Trump is an imperialistic idiot.
No, it's for the minerals.
Yeah.
And so then why do we want
for their resources? Yeah, which is bad, by the way. We shouldn't steal other countries' resources.
Okay, but that's what we've done. That's what we do. So
that's a bad thing. Wait, is theft wrong?
But that's how we've always been, no matter what party. Can you just
answer the question? Is theft wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So we shouldn't take Greenland.
But if you can uplift 50,000 people in the process and make them uber wealthy, is it a problem then?
Wait, the underlying thesis to theft is that you're going to steal something from somebody else because it's going to benefit you. You just merely suggesting that if we do steal resources from Greenland, it would benefit people in America is not justifying the theft. It's explaining why you're doing the theft.
Why are you using a diversion tactic from the reality of what I talked about?
This isn't a diversion tactic. I'm just describing why the last sentence that left your mouth was bullshit. Are you going to sit down and shut up and let the real man speak, or are you going to continue to interrupt like a little boy?
I'll let you speak. Go on.
Good. So you said, well, maybe the theft of Greenland would be justified because it would benefit America. The underlying thesis of theft is that you're going to steal something because it's going to help you. Just because stealing something helps you doesn't make stealing it a good thing.
What did we steal? What have we done to Greenland?
I mean, you said that we wanted to steal their resources.
I never said we were going to steal their resources. I said we wanted their resources, and
how did he want to get their resources? By invading them.
I mean, you can't invade them when you already have contracts for all of our military installations on the continent. So, I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah, you can, because the contract is for military installations through not NATO, not entire country takeover. Be real.
Our presence is justified because we already have the bases there more than anybody else, Dean.
The presence would be justified specifically for the bases, not for a country takeover. This is like saying that if you go into a contractual agreement with an employer that obligates you to show up in their business 8 hours a day, that all of a sudden you're justified in killing the employer and making the business in which you show up to 8 hours a day your permanent home for 24/7. No, just because we have some type of presence there doesn't mean that we have unilateral justified control over the entirety of the nation.
You don't think that the citizens, the 50,000, wouldn't like to be each a millionaire? I mean, is that what your justification is here?
Well, I mean, they actually threw the largest protest in the history of their country saying that they didn't want to be owned by America because guess what? Some people aren't compromised by a paycheck, unlike y'all MAGA grifters. You guys were somehow swindled into voting for a rapist admitted sexual exploiter because you thought you'd get a paycheck for it.
It was the one that took
for the top
Epstein down
1%, but then you never did.
He's the one that took Epstein down and released Epstein files that we've had thus far.
Oh, you know who's the one who released the Epstein files?
His Department of Justice.
No, actually, they still have 2 million more files to go. They've been breaking the Epstein Files Transparency Act since the start. But the body that's responsible for releasing the Epstein files is the American people. Because guess what? He said he wasn't going to do it. Caroline Leavitt labeled it an act of hostility against the admin to vote for the release of the files in Congress. Yet the people demanded it be done. So what did the Democrats do? The Democrats started forming a coalition to force a vote, to petition for a vote for the release of the Epstein files. They were 4 people short. So then they started reaching out over party lines. They got Thomas Massie on board. They got Nancy Mace on board. They got Lauren Boebert on board. And they got MTG on board. And then they were one singular vote short. So then the Democrats in the 7th District of Arizona held a special election, elected Adelita Grahova. Trump realized, oh shit, they are 1 vote short from forcing the release of the files. So then Mike, I don't know, whatever the fuck. Mike Johnson, that's his name, in Congress, delayed her swearing-in ceremony by 6 weeks. He even got inevitably sued by the AG of Arizona because it was obstruction. But inevitably, push came to shove. They had to get her in there. Okay, they made her a member of Congress. Then they finally had a majority to force the vote for the release of the Epstein files. What did Trump do? He didn't say, oh, this is awesome. No, he turned around. He attacked all of the Republicans that were on board with the plan. He sent, mean-ass rants about Thomas Massie out on Twitter saying that he's the world's worst rhino ever. Okay, he killed Lauren Boebert's clean water bill in Colorado because she divested away from MAGA. He pushed MTG out of politics as a whole. She's fucking retired. Okay, and then who's left? Nancy Mace. Yeah, well, she got some strongly. She was then brought into the White House and sat down by 4 administration officials to coerce her into taking her name off the discharge petition list, but it didn't work. So then after they had the majority to force the release of the Epstein files, Donald Trump turned around and he said, well, now that the Epstein files are going to be released, even though literally just 3 weeks ago I was calling it an act of hostility to vote for the release of them, I'm now going to say I want them to release because I'm gridlocked, okay? I've been checkmated. And instead of like just one political disaster, i.e. being named in the Epstein files and fucked and exposed for the piece of shit he is, you know, he'd prefer that over the 2 political disasters. And then on top of that, also be able to control the leak through the DOJ, which is exactly what he did. He did control the leak, okay? Point number 1, the Epstein Files Transparency Act forced him to release all of the files by the December 17th deadline. What did he do? He released none of the files by the December 17th deadline. And then in the next month, he made small releases of percentages of the Epstein files. And inside of those releases, 90+% of the contents were completely redacted, which also violated the law because it only allowed for redactions of the names of victims or minors, but they were straight up redacting the names of co-conspirators. And then they gave it one big last release with the 3 million files, and then they said, we're not going to release anymore. So what do we have at the end of the day? We only have around 60% of the Epstein files released, and then inside of that 60% of the Epstein files that are released, 70% of their contents are redacted. That is not the Trump administration upholding accountability for the American people and holding the rapists, pedophile abusers in the Epstein files accountable in the eyes of the law. That's the Trump administration trying to prevent the release of the Epstein files, being forced to by Congress and the American people, and then controlling the release by breaking the law, okay, and making selective redactions illegally, hiding Trump's name over 1 million times illegally, personally hiding accusations from credible minors, accusing Trump of child rape illegally, concealing the names of co-conspirators illegally. It is a blunder for the Trump administration. Do not try to revise history.
Epstein Island was a honeypot, yes or no, Dean?
Jesus Christ. I'm not going to let you
ignore yes or no.
I just said. I don't even
I didn't ignore everything you just said. How the hell do you want me to respond to all that?
I don't even know what a honeypot is, bro. What's a honeypot?
You don't know what a honeypot is? It's what Epstein Island was, where they lured in individuals that are princes and kings and leaders of countries, presidents, as well as corporate owners, and get them caught in acts to do their bidding. It's a honeypot. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be that could be true. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So got a bunch of pedophiles to go do pedophilia to then hold blackmail over them.
Yes. Yeah. As sick as it is. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. But okay. And Epstein had the highest of ranking credentials with the Mossad, CIA, and Housewives. Correct.
I know nothing about his connections to Mossad.
Okay. It's a honeypot, Dean.
Dude, I cooked this guy so hard. He went from being like a MAGA debater to Alex Jones on crack. Like,
come on, it's reality, though.
Let's get real for a second. Like, what are we doing? Can you respond to any of the points that I made to demonstrate how Donald Trump did not do anything gallant in reference to the release of the Epstein files?
Okay, it was still Donald Trump's Department of Justice that released anything to us.
Oh my God! Because they were forced to by Congress.
Okay,
and then even in what they released, they broke the law.
Hold on, you said they were a vote shy. I heard you. They were a vote shy, but it still boiled down to Donald Trump's Department of Justice that released anything. It took Biden 4 years, and we saw nothing.
If you hold a gun to my head and you say, Dean, donate $500 to this charity that in the past you have said you will never donate to, or I will kill you, and in turn I donate $500 to the charity, did I do something good?
No.
Right. Right, exactly. So when the Trump administration is like, stop talking about Epstein, it's an act of hostility to vote for their release in Congress, we're done talking about the files that are a Democratic hoax, and then the American people hold that metaphorical gun to their head by getting Congress to pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and then they selectively release some of the files, not all. Did the DOJ do something good?
The Department of Justice under Donald Trump is the only Department of Justice to release anything.
You can't respond, can you?
No.
You can't respond, can you? You're cooked. You're cooked. Crash out.
I'm not cooked.
Then how about you respond to the question that I asked you? Yeah, this is like you saying that I'm doing something good by donating $500 to the charity that I said I'd never donate to after you put a gun to my head. No, I was forced to. All right,
Okay,
you can attribute any level of galliance to me. No, don't pivot. You don't pivot here because I want you to respond. The reason why we can't look at Trump's DOJ and say, "Oh, you guys are great," is because they were literally forced to do something that they explicitly said they didn't want to do.
Epstein? Who's DOJ investigated Epstein?
I'll have a conversation with you about Trump's DOJ V1 after you could respond to the last thing I said. You are being a little fucking weasel, and you are ignoring what I'm saying. Stop ignoring it and respond, you weasel. Respond.
Was Donald Trump's Department of Justice that investigated him and released
stop pivoting.
it.
Oh, I'll happily talk to you about the investigation of Jeffrey Epstein under the DOJ in his first term once you could acknowledge the last point that I made, you weasel. You are clearly pivoting away from the point that we cannot applaud Trump's DOJ for releasing some of the Epstein files because they were forced to by the American people in the Epstein Files Transparency Act. But even in being forced to by this bill release the files, they still illegally redacted plenty of the contents, illegally redacted Trump's own name, illegally redacted the identities of co-conspirators, and illegally did not release all of the files. I want you to respond to the analogy that I made about if I explicitly vowed to never donate to this charity in my lifetime. Okay.
Lord.
And then you said you have to donate $500 to be a good person. And I say, I refuse to be a good person. Then you put a gun to my head and you say, you fucking donate $500 or I'm pulling the trigger. And then I donate $200. Okay. This isn't something gallant that I did. Okay. I was coerced into doing something that you would deem as good, but I still then didn't do it in its entirety because I only donated $200, not $500. That's what the DOJ did. I've re-explained this 500 times now. Respond to the substance, you fucking weasel. You are so scared of me. Cope laugh all you want. That won't change the fact that you still haven't responded to the argument.
Never been called a weasel before. That's a first, for starters. You're calling me a weasel. I don't know why you're calling me out of my name because we have a variance of opinion.
Because you won't respond to the argument that I'm giving you.
But
That's why I'm calling you a weasel.
Listen, you said a lot of things there, but the reality is what it boils down to is one Department of Justice investigated it and one Department of Justice released it.
Okay.
And that fell under...
I understand that this is something that you saw on Facebook. Like, legitimately, this guy follows some MAGA page on Facebook. The MAGA page says, Trump's DOJ investigated, Trump's DOJ released. Okay, and you're just repeating that talking point. I'm debunking that talking point by demonstrating how the Trump administration vowed to not release the Epstein files, told people to stop talking about them, called them a Democratic hoax, called it an act of hostility against their admin to vote for the release. Then Congress forced them to release the files, and they only released some. Okay, and then about the investigation under the first term, that is a function of the DOJ. When they have evidence of a crime, they have to investigate it. They just have to. Okay? Yeah, I'm not going to applaud Trump's DOJ in his first term for investigating Epstein the same way I'm not going to applaud Biden's DOJ for investigating sex trafficking. When you're given evidence of sex trafficking, you got to investigate it. That's the function of the DOJ. When you're given evidence that Epstein is a pedophile, you got to investigate it. That's the function of the DOJ. But at this point in time, respond to the points that I made about how his DOJ under a second term, okay, refused to release the Epstein files. Admin called it an act of hostility to vote for the release. Donald Trump told his supporters to stop talking about them. If you're still thinking about them, then you're stupid, not really MAGA. And then they were forced by Congress to release some of them due to the Epstein Files Transparency Act that they still broke with millions accounts of various crimes by refusing to release 2 million files, illegally redacting Trump's names 1 million times, the names of other co-conspirators too. Respond to the point. Stop running away. Don't just say, well, Dean, regardless of what you say, the fact of the matter is, okay, his DOJ released it. Because that's what I'm debunking. I'm acknowledging that his DOJ released it, but I'm also acknowledging that they were forced to by the American people. And before they were forced to by the American people, they explicitly said it would never happen.
Okay. Holy shit. All right. The redactions are because of control and ownership over the individuals as opposed to hiding their nefarious ways. It was a honeypot from inception. Okay?
He can't respond. I broke you.
I don't know what else you want me to say. You said a lot there, but it's reality. It's what it is.
I want you to either concede that we should not applaud the Trump DOJ for releasing some of the files, okay, or give a counter argument against the analogy that I made to demonstrate how they were forced to.
The argument is that it's an active honeypot investigation where we control them.
He can't do it. The Epstein Files Transparency Act legally obligated the DOJ to release all contents of the files outside of the identities of victims and minors.
Yeah, well, obviously, victims and minors aren't going to be released, but individuals that perpetuated the acts were for the sole purpose of control and ownership moving forward. That is the design of the honeypot.
I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. Like, how does this acknowledge that his DOJ was forced to release the files they did? How does this acknowledge that they illegally redacted the names of co-conspirators? How does this respond to a single thing I've said?
Because they're still maintaining oversight over these individuals to do their bidding.
Wait, the Trump administration?
Yes.
So you think that the Trump administration, is like currently protecting the identities of pedophiles to coerce them into doing things for them?
Squeezing. There's a difference.
Wait, what word did you use?
Squeezing.
Pleasing?
Squeezing.
What?
Squeezing. So when you have a honeypot, you set it up in the purpose of getting all
Wait.
the...
Wait. So the Trump administration is on board with allowing pedophiles to rape children so then they can take advantage of the pedophiles?
This was something that has been going... Epstein Island was in effect for a long time, and there's other islands as well besides Epstein. Agree or disagree?
This guy's just nuts.
No, I'm not nuts. It's reality. They utilize it to
Why
gain
would you ever
leverage
support a
over
president?
leaders.
Why would you
They
ever support
utilize it to gain leverage over leaders and corporate owners, and that's what they do to do their bidding moving forward. That is how.
Oh my God! This is the defense. Wait, so your defense
Not
for
a
Donald Trump
defense.
illegally redacting the names of pedophiles is that he's actually just secretly squeezing those pedophiles to get them to do what he wants?
Okay. You can view it as that, but when it's an ongoing active investigation that spans 20 plus years, there's a difference.
Wait, I thought you said that the investigation started under Trump. Because if it was spanning 20 plus years, then it happened under Biden and Obama.
When I say investigation, it's in reference to the honeypot that was established to lure people in to own them. There's a difference.
This guy's nuts. Would you still support Trump as president if you knew for certainty that he had engaged in sexual violence?
No, of course not. The hell?
Okay. Here's Donald Trump admitting to sexual violence by admitting to
Come on.
Here's him admitting to barging into the dressing rooms of beauty pageant contestants.
The owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell me
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
For everybody watching, expect this guy to try his best to weasel out of an acknowledgement that this is Donald Trump admitting to sexual violence. He's been trying to weasel his way out of everything that we've went over so far today on the live. Now, here's what I'll say before I pass you that mic. First and foremost, what did we hear Trump admit to? We heard him admit to barging into the dressing rooms of naked beauty pageant contestants because he said that they have no clothes on to then look at their naked bodies. We also heard him say that the only reason why he was able to do this is because he was the owner and he could enter in under the guise of doing a fake inspection of the dressing rooms. This does amount to sexual violence because the definition of sexual violence is any sexual act that is unconsensual. We know that there's a sexual act occurring. He's seeking out the naked bodies of women to look at, to oogle, to then tell Howard Stern how great they looked, and we know it was unconsensual because there's a reasonable expectation of privacy away from men in private women's only spaces. All right, what does this mean for you? Idealistically, this should be a red line. You should revoke your support from Trump. Now, I am going to go ahead and give you a moment to think about it while I thank a couple donors to sit and stew and think about what you want your response to be. First and foremost, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for the $100 donation on Super Chat. I want to see 1,000 Elizabeth W's down below. Elizabeth, that is so fucking kind of you. Elizabeth with $100 says, yeah, this caller is dishonest. Fuck this guy. The FBI investigated because Florida and NY investigators yielded incriminating evidence because survivors demanded justice. Why hasn't anybody been arrested? Trump signed a piece of paper that doesn't make him a hero of the survivors. On God, Elizabeth fucking Cook. Same thing to you, Disgusted Veteran. I really appreciate you so much for that love. Show some love to Disgusted Veteran down below for the $100. Thank you so very much for the love and support. A huge shout out to Veteran and Elizabeth. Seriously, you two, it is such an incredibly kind donation from the two of you guys. Thank you so very much. Who says, this boomer cannot be more proud of the way you try so very hard to educate those that literally challenge your very reality. Stay strong, Teen Withers. You matter so much. Veteran, bro, I'm so very grateful for you. I always have been and I always will be. Thank you once again for an insane $100 donation. Huge shout out to you. Thank you, you two, so very much. On Venmo, Kyle, thank you for the $10. who says, "Love you, Dean." He's claiming that the island was a honeypot. That would mean that they would be tempting people to what they want. So he's claiming that Trump wanted that. Just saying, right? Same thing to you, Megan. Thank you for the $30 dono on Venmo. Let's get through into Megan W's. Thank you, Megan. Megan with a 30 says, "Much love and appreciation from a blue dot in a very red state. I enjoy listening almost daily. Happy 400th episode." Thank you, Megan. Joseph, thank you for the $25. Quote unquote, "for your tireless work defending logic and exposing idiots for whom they are." Listen, I feel like I am working pretty hard to defend logic against this nut job, but I appreciate you for the $25, Joseph. Same thing to you, Angel. I appreciate you for the 2. Nikki, I appreciate you for the 5. And Lori, thank you for the 10. I appreciate you so much for that love. Who says, "Dean, didn't you know if you stare at a Black Lives Matter flag for too long, you'll become black?" The funniest thing is that's actually a really good analogy to this guy's earlier argument, who's claiming that when we put pride flags in schools, then kids become gay. Unironically, fire analogy, Lori. Like, fire analogy. Same thing to Kimberly. Thank you so much for the $25. Who says, "I went to a Catholic school for 7 years and even shook the Pope's hand in 2nd grade. And yet I married a woman. It's not a choice. Thank you for trying to educate those who just don't get it." This guy certainly doesn't get it. I appreciate you for the kind words and the $25 donation. And shout out to you and your wife, Kimberly. Same thing to you, Jake. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate you, Jake. Let's get to it, Jake W's. Thank you so much. And Grace, thank you so much for the $10. And Zach, thank you so much for the $66 donation. Oh my God, Zach. Thank you so very much for the love. Let's get 600 Zach W's in that chat. That is ZAK. Zach with his $66, who says, "Ask for one specific example of a child getting any surgery ever without their parent knowing." Yeah, that was relevant earlier in the conversation when this guy was claiming that kids were just undergoing sex reassignment surgery because Biden wanted everybody to be trans. What a nut job. But that's a good question, Zach. Thank you for the $66. Same thing to Sabrina. Thank you for the $30. She says, "You, Parker, and Santana are literally my podcast every day. Well, thank you for doing what you do." Well, thank you, Sabrina, for the love and support. And then Tom, thank you for the $15. And Ken, thank you so much for the $40 donation, saying happy 400th. Thank you, Ken. You guys have been so kind today, genuinely. Like, I don't even know what to say. So fucking kind. I appreciate you so much, man. Show some love to Ken down below in that comment section. I appreciate the hell out of you. Same thing to Keith and Angel. I appreciate you guys for the $2. Thank you guys so much for that love and support. I think that we're caught up over on Venmo. We're caught up on Super Chat. We have a couple people to quickly thank on PayPal. Lucilia, thank you so much for the $15. Who says, "Hey, Dean, just letting you know I love your streams and I appreciate you bringing these mega chuds to the ground. I try my best." Thank you for the $15. Same thing to you, Monavon. Thank you for the $40 donation on PayPal. That is MANIVAN. Thank you, Monavon, who says, "Don't give up on what you're doing. I never will, man. I love it way too much." I appreciate you for the $40, and it's good to see you today. Same thing to you, Mariah. Thank you for the $20 donation on PayPal. And great message, by the way. I appreciate you for the $20. And Hannah, thank you so much for the $50 dono, who says, "Happy 400th. Been watching for over a year now, and I've been taking away something new nearly every stream. Thank you for everything that you do." Well, thank you, Hannah, for the incredibly kind $50 donation. I try to, make sure that there's a new takeaway every stream. We're not just going over the same thing every day. Clearly, there's a lot of topics that we do touch on every day, but I just try to add something new. You know what I mean? But thank you for the $50, Hannah. And thank you so much as well, Haley, for the $20. I already thanked you earlier, but I guess I'll thank you again. Thank you, Haley. And then Paris, this is the last one for now. Thank you for the $20 donation, who says, "Hey, you should watch the video of BTS speaking at the White House a few years ago if you haven't. It's kind of off topic, but I love them and they have a good message." I'll check that out. Thank you, Paris, for the $20. And thank you, everybody. Please show some love to all the donors down below. Holy cow. Thank you, guys. If you want to support me, if you want to support the stream, you can find the Venmo and the PayPal and the link tree in the bio on TikTok, pin message over on YT, and right there, Dean Withers without the Ian Withers. But we're all caught up. So what's your response to that clip of Donald Trump admitting to sexual violence there, Mr.
Well, quickly,
Eagleman?
I just want to say I understand why you've cut me on so long, because your donations have gone through the roof and motivated your base. But I will move forward with that, and I'm happy for you. But there is a stark difference
I
between...
haven't kept you on for any donations. I've kept you on because you're...
No, I know, but I'm just saying that with me being on there with my perspective has really, engaged your base. But I will say this. There is a difference between going backstage and going into the dressing room. He also made no mention of seeing them fully nude. He called them beautiful, beautiful women. I mean, there's a difference there. You want to play a clip to me. What did he say that he saw him nude or naked? At any point in time during that clip, he played. And then he went backstage. He didn't say he went into the dressing room, Dean.
Yeah, he did.
No, he went backstage. But he never said that he saw him naked or nude either. So that's just in regards to that clip there.
Yeah, I'll respond to these 2 points. They're pretty easy to debunk.
And listen, I appreciate you giving me as much time as I have, and I appreciate that. I want to just apologize because I've been drinking, so I haven't been in myself. So I'm a little slurred. I got a lot going on over here. I got a lot going on over here.
So
But I want
to
say
respond to your first point, you said that. Well, he said backstage. Yeah, he said that he'd go backstage to get to the dressing rooms. How do we know? Because he said that he'd go backstage to get to a place that men weren't allowed. He'd be breaking rules by entering. He had a lie to go in and abuse the fact that he was the owner. And inside of that space, there were a bunch of women who had no clothes on that were getting dressed. Yeah, that is describing a dressing room, undeniably so. By the way, every woman who recalls this happening to them, even the women that would defend Trump, saying that he gave them a heads up first, said it happened in the dressing room. So we know it happened in the dressing rooms. To the second point, saying that at one point of that conversation, did he ever say they were naked? Yeah, he did. He said they had no clothes on. When you have no clothes on in a dressing room, what are you? You're naked.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold up any more callers. I just want to say I appreciate you giving me the time to hear my perspective.
Oh, trust me, you're not holding anybody up. Before you leave, I'd love for you to respond to those 2 points.
Okay. Again, what I said, he went backstage, not into the dressing room. I did not hear him say that he saw anybody nude or naked.
Well, I just responded to those 2 points. He said he went backstage into a place backstage that men weren't allowed. He was breaking a rule by entering. He had abused the fact that he was the owner and do a lie to get in. And inside of that space, women were naked and changing. And every single woman that remembers this happening to them said it happened in the dressing rooms. Even people like Virginia Hughes, who spoke out and said Trump did nothing wrong. Sure, he went into our dressing rooms, but he gave us a head up first so we could get clothes on. Every single woman said it happened in the dressing room. He described a dressing room. What does that make it? A dressing room. First point debunked. Second point about being nude. He said they have no clothes on. When you have no clothes on in a dressing room, you're naked.
Okay. All right. When you're an owner of a company, it's not some random person going in there. I'm sure he announced himself before he went in. He didn't barge in there. I didn't hear that as well. It's not like he just ran through the door and said, hey. Like, let's be real here, man.
Well, I mean, when did he say that he announced himself beforehand? And I think that we have reason to believe that he didn't, considering the fact that when you went in there, they'd have no clothes on.
So they're just standing there completely in the nude the entire time?
That seems to be a pretty typical occurrence.
How long does it take? How long does it take to put on a different wardrobe? I mean, are they standing there completely nude the entire time? I mean, he went backstage.
They're in the process of getting dressed. But in the process of getting dressed, at points you'll be naked. And it seems like when you have a large group of women that are in the process of getting dressed, if you just randomly barge in there, at least a handful of them will be at the point in the process where they're naked. That's have you ever been in a locker room at a gym before? I have. Okay, I've been in a locker room at a gym before. Yeah. I've seen a lot of naked dudes in those locker rooms. You know, they're not just standing there staring off into the oblivion. They're just at that part in the process of, getting dressed where they're naked.
Right. And so again, did we hear at any point in time that he just barged in without announcing himself? Is there any clarity on that?
Yeah, he said he was able to go in because he's the owner, and he would go in under the guise of doing a fake inspection. Just walk in.
Nobody else would go in. You think he didn't announce himself before going in there, Dean?
Well, if he announced himself and waited for them to get decent, then they wouldn't have no clothes on, as he described them to be.
I'm sure he didn't just walk on in there.
Then why do they have no clothes on, sir?
Well, that would be their choice. Hey, Donald Trump's coming through. Knock, knock, knock. Okay, Donald Trump's coming. If they decide
you seem to be adding on a lot of extra justification here that they were only women, no girls,
on as well. You're
and that they choose to stay in the nude after he announced himself and gave them a good time to get dressed. Prove it.
For all intents and purposes,
Can you prove it, sir? Can you prove that claim?
Can you prove that he didn't announce himself?
Sure, yeah. The fact in the clip he said they had no clothes on, we'd expect him to have no clothes on if he didn't announce himself. The fact that he never said he announced himself, and the fact that every single woman who remembers this happening to them either said that he didn't announce himself, and just barged in, like Tasha Dixon, Mariah Bilato, or the one woman that said he did announce himself said that after he announced himself, everybody got dressed, which was clearly referring to a different scenario than the one described by Tasha Dixon, Mariah, what the fuck is her last name? I just said it. I'll just call her Mariah. By Mariah and Trump, because they all agreed that they were naked.
The clip you played me made no mention of anybody being in the nude whatsoever.
Yeah, it did. They say they had no clothes on. Just being naked.
Donald Trump, the clip you just played me, made no mention of anybody being in the nude.
I'll
He
show you.
referred to the
Yes, they did. I'll show you where it says they have no clothes on. It's right here, buddy. Take a listen.
The clip you just
Make sure
played
that
me.
everything is good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes.
No clothes.
That's a different clip, is it not, Dean?
No, it's not.
Dude,
I'll play
you
you
played
the
me a
full thing.
totally different clip.
No, I
That was a
didn't.
different clip.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I've done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed.
Is this the right clip? The same clip I played you before?
Go on, continue. Let me
and
hear it.
ready
Is it?
And everything else. And
Is it the same clip?
If I can hear it, I'll let you
no men
know.
are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want
Is it the same clip?
It sounds about to be the same. Go ahead, continue.
He's going to say that they don't have clothes on in approximately 2 seconds.
to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody?
There you go.
Okay. It sounds like he's announcing himself as he walks in. Does that not sound like somebody
Oh,
Is
announcing himself by
everybody
asking them
okay?
as they're doing as he walks in. Sexual
Hold on.
exploitation.
He's announcing he's about to enter. Right there.
But note at this point, he's
Is
already inside
everybody
because he can see
okay?
them.
What does that mean? Is everybody okay in Trump terminology? Does that mean,
in that
you think
clip-
that's what he said? Hey, Donald Trump's about to enter. Is everybody fully clothed? That is more of the verbiage that was utilized, as opposed to being on a Howard Stern interview when he's just being Donald Trump. Hey, is everybody okay? You think that's the words he used? You think he goes into the dressing room or the backstage? Hey, is everybody okay? No, he goes in, hey, it's Donald Trump. I'm going to enter. Is everybody fully clothed and in proper attire before I come in? That's more reasonable, Dean.
So he said that after he was already inside of the dressing room. We know that because of what he just said. He said he'd say, "Is everybody okay?" and you'd see these naked women. Okay.
Why would he say that? Why would he even say that?
No. If during the time he could see the naked women, he was asking if everybody was okay. Then during the time he was asking if everybody's okay, he was in the dressing room. Because of course you would need to be in the dressing room in order to see the naked women, right?
The mere fact that he would even initiate a question such as, is everybody fully clothed or whatever.
That wasn't the question. It wasn't, is everybody fully clothed? The question was, is everybody okay?
He's on a Howard Stern interview, Dean.
Yeah, and what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
That's not the words that he would use. Could you picture him going backstage?
That is the words he used. That's the words, like, literally, he used.
Hey, is everybody okay? No, he's going to go in there and say, hey, Donald Trump, I'm about to come in. Is everybody fully clothed? Everybody appropriate?
Bro, those are the words he would use. Is everybody okay? Because they are the words he used. It's him speaking in this clip. You're coping. You're fucking coping. You idiots.
I'm not coping.
Also, can you agree? Can you agree that he would ask this question after he was already inside of the dressing room?
How do we know that he's asking it while he's already inside of a dressing room or backstage? What is the difference?
Sure. Listen. Because inside of this clip, when he'd say, "Is everybody okay?" he then followed it up by saying, "When I'd say everybody's okay, you'd see naked women." If he was saying, "Is everybody okay?" at the same time he'd see naked women, then he was already in the dressing room.
Play the clip.
Okay, yeah, listen, we'll just play back the last 5 seconds. This one is easy peasy.
You're like everything is good because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes.
Quote unquote, is everybody okay? You know they're standing there with no clothes.
Okay.
Listen to the next sentence too.
Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women.
Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. If this was an announcement that he made prior to entering inside of the dressing room, then why could he see them?
Is there something wrong with saying you see these incredible looking women? Did he say he sees them naked or in the nude? Did he say that there?
We just listened to him say that they had no clothes on. Yes. We did.
It sounded like he was cut off there, but yeah, I mean, it's Donald Trump.
This idiot, bro. This
listen,
guy's
no,
a fucking moron.
I don't see Donald Trump as
what a
the fucking
moron!
owner
What,
of a
like,
pageant.
come on, like, what? Where did we go wrong? Like, brother,
Are you serious?
Come on, you're better than this.
He's
You're
the
like,
owner of a
you're legit
pageant.
better than this. Like,
He's the
you
owner
have
of
a
a
brain. How about you use it for the first time in your life? You absolute moron. It's just like this is an open book test. This is
out.
so
Hey, Dean,
easy. Like I feel like I'm back in fucking second grade trying to like explain to my classmate how to add 2 + 2. take the 2 fingers in the left hand, you take the 2 fingers in the right hand, and then you put them next to each other, then you add them all up. But what if I don't have 2 fingers on this hand? What if I have 3 on this hand and 1 on this hand, and it's not my pointer finger, it's my pinky finger, so I can't get them next to each other? Well, you can still add them, just look at the fingers that are sticking up straight. Well, my thumb's sticking up straight. Do I count my thumb? No, you don't fucking count. Listen, my point is this is so easy. Donald Trump said he went into a space that men weren't allowed because no men were anywhere. He broke a rule by entering. That's why he quote unquote got away with it. And inside of the space, in order to get in, he'd abuse the fact that he's the owner of the pageant. He'd lie about doing a fake inspection, and that he'd see the quote unquote incredible looking bodies of women with no clothes on. Was it a general backstage area? When he said that he asked them if everybody's okay while he saw them naked, I mean, let's think about it. This really could have been him telling everybody to get clothes on before he went into the dressing room. And when you ask me why he saw them naked, I'm not going to answer that question because clearly he wouldn't if he was outside of the space. He never said that they were naked. He just said that they had no clothes on in a dressing room for a swimsuit modeling competition. Oh, and all the women and girls that came out and said that, yeah, they were naked and he barged in, oh, they're just crazy. You know, I don't even know where they'd get that one from. They're clearly attacking him because he's the president. They're clearly going after him because of his money. It's definitely not because it actually happened. And we don't just have their word to prove it. We also have his. Like, come on.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Yo, that was really funny. I'll give you that. That was hilarious. I hope you save that because that is freaking iconic. But listen, just picture this, Dean. You're the owner of a pageant, right? And you want to go in there and you give them a pep talk before they